Hi, I'm Jana Riley, and this is Ageless. I'm 40, and my life is just getting started. I'm here to share real talk and real experiences about how to live life ageless. Nothing's off the table. You know the vibes. Let's go. Welcome back to Ageless. I'm Jana Riley, and today I am joined by Jennifer Busalacchi. She is an author who was born and raised in San Diego, California. She graduated from Pepperdine University with a BA in communications. After working briefly in Los Angeles in the entertainment industry, she returned home to San Diego. She currently resides with her 15-year-old twins and enjoys watching them compete in sports and do the things that they love in life. Jennifer continues to live in gratitude for the life God has given her. And she has a new book out called Retail's Stories from the Dressing Rooms, and she's here to talk about it. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Jana. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. And I'm so excited about your new book. I gave it a read. I love it. It was so entertaining. And, I guess give us a quick synopsis of the book.
Well, it is little short stories from working in a high-end retail store. I used to come home from working and I would just tell funny stories or, stories that shocked me basically over and over to my mom or to my grandma. And finally they were like, you need to write a book basically, because the shenanigans that happened every day were really out of control. I felt like sometimes I was in a like Quentin Tarantino movie or just it was just insane. So between the stylist and the customers, I was honestly I was shocked.
I actually went back into the retail world, so I know exactly what you mean. People are so interesting, but I haven't had any experiences like the ones that are in your book. So I encourage everyone to pick up The Retail's Stories from the Dressing Rooms by Jennifer. And uh, how did your book, how did it come to life? What was your process?
Well, first of all, I always write with pencil and paper. So I know that's an unusual thing. I'm like old school. I've been writing since third grade. I've always wanted to be a writer. So it's kind of been in the back of my head. I would just jot down like ideas or little scenarios or things so that I would remember when I came home from work. So I don't know, like when funny people would come in, or like a homeless person would come in and drop her bag at the door and walk around the store. I would, just remember in detail specifics about that person, or, like her jeans were ripped, or, she had a can of tobacco in her back pocket, or something, what the security would do, things like that. And I would just jot it down. I always carry a notebook in my purse, so I would run to the back and write down real quick, things that were happening.
And then when did you compile the book though? Like when did you jump off and do this?
I worked there for about 6 months and then I decided, you know what, I've had enough and it's time to just begin writing. And I, took some time between jobs. I went from retail to writing at night. Actually, I would I would write. My kids would be like, "What are you doing, Mama? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm writing. I'm writing. I'm writing. I have to get it done. I have to get it done." And then, so it went fast, but I wanted it to be a little longer, so I didn't know which specific stories I was going to do, because there were so many, and I had to remember. I wanted to just do in detail, and it was kind of hard because I was like, okay, I want to remember each specific one in detail, but it was hard to explain in detail because I wanted to portray it to the reader, so they felt like they were actually seeing what I was seeing each day. Um, so I would write at night, and then during the day, I would think, okay, maybe I need to elaborate on that character, or elaborate on that person, or elaborate on the scene in the store. Um, and then basically between little jobs, because I never have a 9 to 5. I just can't. I'm creative brained, and it's just too much for me to sit at a 9 to 5 job.
Can you read us one of your favorite chapters in the book? I just feel like this is what a book review is all about.
I definitely can. I had three and I was like, oh my gosh, let's narrow it down, narrow it down. Okay, so one of my favorite chapters is titled Tweakers. Uh, okay, and a lot of the shifts that I had were nighttime shifts, and it seems like all of the things happened in the evening. I don't know why. And the store closed at 9, so basically at 8:50 we would start having the or I'm sorry, I closed at 10. So at 9:50 everything would start, closing up, and the things would announce the closing. So, okay, here's Tweakers. One evening, the door opened, and a pair of tweakers pushed a grocery store shopping cart into the store. A tweaker is a person who is on methamphetamine, which is commonly known as speed. A person on speed usually sweats a lot, has dilated pupils, talks incessantly, and usually they are talking to themselves. It's a sad situation, but in the retail world, it is comical. The two tweakers seemed to have paranoia. They were scratching themselves and grabbing stuff to throw into the grocery cart. I work on the second floor, so this couple brought the cart up the escalator. I guess they didn't realize we had an elevator. They grabbed two of everything they wanted, no matter the size. The duo touched and explored each piece of clothing as if they had not seen a piece of clothing before. Their pile of clothes was getting out of control as they shopped while mumbling to themselves. I chose to watch the situation from afar. I didn't want to be the lucky sales associate that had to deal with them. After the two shoppers collected their massive pile of clothing, they headed to the dressing rooms. They needed one of the stylish, large rooms to fit their grocery cart. Both were sweating so badly that their clothes were soaking and their odor became unbearable. Their couple had sores on their bodies, indicating they must have been longtime users of meth. The sales associate assisting them listened to them ramble about topics that had nothing to do with clothing. Tweakers don't realize they are talking and sweating. They assume they look normal and don't realize that people are staring at their odd behavior. The tweakers went into the dressing room, but exited in a few seconds later. The tweakers were a funny bunch. They came in all twacked back and too fidgety to focus on trying on clothing. Undercover security was nowhere to be found. Our store policy was that the customer came first, so technically they were not stealing and might pay for the clothes. They moved on to kids, sportswear, and lingerie, stacking pajamas, bras, panties, and blankets in their cart. They ended up in sportswear, unloaded a pile onto the counter, and paid for their items. The manager rang it up, and I helped fold and bag their shopping spree. How did I even get involved? I wanted them to get the fuck out of the store so we could close.
Oh my God, I don't know how you dealt with that. Was this like right before the store closed?
Yeah, we close, and then at 10 minutes till there's announcements that says the store will be closing in 10 minutes. Please exit the premises. And for some reason, uh, there's two announcements, and people need to exit the premises, and the store is locked up. And then no registers are allowed to close until the last person has gone. And unfortunately, that means the top floor, the bottom floor, all of the departments. And so it doesn't matter like if somebody's hiding in the dressing rooms, hiding in the bathrooms, everybody has to do a search of everybody. Well, they hid. So we had issues with trying to get them out of the store. Now they did pay, which was nice. I don't know if they know what they were paying for because it was in all different, departments. They went to kids, sportswear, pajamas. I mean, and I worked in the couture collectors department. So it could have been any sizes. They weren't, like I said, they were twacked back. They had no clue on what was happening. Um, so their pile, and where do they get a grocery cart coming up the escalator? I mean,
Right.
honestly, who rolls in with that? I don't know.
Who does that? Who
So
does that?
I don't know. I mean, we had bikes come in, we had grocery carts. I have one chapter called the druggy buggy. It was, I
I
mean,
loved that one too. And
yeah.
the bike, I remember that from one of your stories. And I love how they're little They're like mini articles, kind of like Sex
Hmm.
in the City. And that's what I loved about your book. It was just a
Yeah.
really quick read and
Hmm.
fun. And I just really loved it. You've done such a great job.
I mean it is. It's a short read. It's kind of like a boutique book, and eventually I hope to like get it into boutiques, but it's,
It
it's
is a boutique
progressing.
book.
It's not a huge like you're gonna have to ponder life very much. It's not gonna change the world. Um, it's
It's going to
just a
give you a
few.
laugh.
It is, and I've seen it. So far my friends have it in like their little um sugaring shops, and they're supporting me a lot with it. And I just basically wrote it for fun. Hopefully people get a laugh. There is bad language in it. My mom was like, "You're so well educated. Why are you using such bad language?" And I'm thinking, "Mama, it's okay. Like maybe
No,
people
it's
will enjoy
okay.
it."
It's the way that you use it. It's the way
Yeah.
that you use it
Hmm.
that shows your intelligence, I think. And I think you used it well. It's sprinkled in there really well. And you know what? I love the word fuck. It's one of my favorite
It
words.
is mine too.
You know what I mean?
My kids were like, "Stop using the word." So my twins don't use bad language, which is good. I mean, because I do. I love the back of the back of the book is one of my favorite. I came up with writing. I love the back of the book. The synopsis on the back of it. It's really cute.
No,
So,
it
I
is
mean, there
cute. I've
was,
got the book in my hands right now. I was
hmm
reading along with you.
hmm there was just debaucherous acts, and people just conduct themselves in a poor way. Like it's not like the 1950s where, I Love Lucy, went shopping, had gloves on, and I wanted to relate it back to like the I Love Lucy Dick Van Dyke.
It was an event.
Yeah, and
It was an
everybody dressed
event.
nicely, and now they just roll in literally with, I'm, it's devastating to me sometimes.
Well, I love that you said shopping has gone to hell in a Chanel handbag. It's lost all its glamour, glitz, and glory. That's adorable.
Yes, it has, and and people are rude, and we're here to just be kind to each other, and I don't know what happened, you know? And yet the store sells a lot. Some of the stylists are selling 1.3 million in clothing. I mean, that's huge.
It's insane. I love the name you came up with, Bloomstrums. That was so cute. And you know what? I loved that you broke down all of the characters before you went into
Mhm.
the stories.
Yeah, and literally that is them to a T. I don't think they've realized it yet, which is fine.
Are these fictitious names or are these actual names?
No, those are fictitious. Yes, those are fictitious, but they definitely literally go specifically with um yeah, their names are, I mean, they go with the characters for sure. Hmm.
Well, it was such a great read. Like I said, I was so entertained and I'm just so proud of you. So
Thank
let's
you.
sidestep for a minute. I
Okay.
I know you mentioned the twins.
Hmm.
So how do you balance your personal and professional life with
Okay, well,
having
well,
twins and at the age they're in?
well, it's been hectic this last year. I have to say the kids always come first. They always have. So, and then I schedule accordingly. I This year has been hectic because we've been applying for high schools, and that literally has taken up a majority of the time. Like I said, I don't usually have a 9 to 5 job, so I kind of just dilly-dally around stuff, and find things I can do. Um, but it's the kids. The kids have always come first, and I work around their schedules, their lives. But as they get older, I'm gonna try to settle in to more of me, um, and try to find more time for myself. And even, my daughter even says, Mama, you need to find more time for yourself because we're getting older. But their schedules always come first, and that's kind of how I balance that. It's more towards them and less towards me. I don't know if that's
No, that's beautiful and inspiring, and you're a
yeah.
really good mom. A really good mom. I love what you shared in your about page in your book that you live in gratitude for the life God has given you. Do you have a spiritual practice?
I try, I've been through a lot in the last like 5 years. I've lost my dad, and so I've tried, to switch things up. When things get negative, I try to literally be more in gratitude, like gratitude list, and try to be, um, share. I am Christian, so I try to like fall back on, prayer and meditation. Although meditation is hard for me. I don't meditate that well. Honestly, it's like a difficult thing. But they say like prayer is, you know, asking God for something, and then meditation is listening for the answers, which is hard because sometimes answers don't come, and since I can't meditate that well, you know, it's hard. But I do enjoy, it's been rainy lately, so I do enjoy the sound of rain, and that kind of puts me in a trance. So I do enjoy the sound of rain, and I do enjoy, getting grounded. Because it's funny, I'm not into astrology that much, but I am a Capricorn, and Capricorns are meant to be like grounded, so their feet in the like planted. So
Yes.
I've tried to like just try different things just to be grateful, I guess, for life, because it is precious, and a lot of people can get negative, and just like I said in the book, it's you get discouraged, and if you get discouraged, then it's harder to, I guess, function. So you can't just, you have to be grateful for the little things.
Absolutely. I can't have negativity around me
Hmm.
because I take it on.
Yeah.
And optimism always wins.
Hmm.
I just can't have it around me.
Yeah.
Can't have it
And
around me.
I know it's true. I mean, and I'm an empath, like, and that makes it even harder because then I feel everybody's stuff, and I'm like, oh no, I can't stop. Like I can't take yours and mine and theirs, and so just I need to like everybody just keep yourself at bay, and I'm gonna handle my own self. So negativity is hard.
It is. And I too am an empath. And
Hmm.
there were some days during the Christmas time
Hmm.
shopping season that I just took on so much energy from people that by the time I went home, I was so depleted, and I felt like I was just an empty shell, like
Yeah.
absolutely nothing left. I had taken on so much, and so
Hmm.
I'm really practicing that today. Just not
Yeah.
taking on everybody's energy because I don't have to. I'm
Right. I
not
know.
required to do that.
Exactly. Like who said there's no book on that? There's no who's there's
Who's making
who's
those rolls?
yeah, who's bossing me around? Nobody.
Right.
It's true.
Well, Jennifer, I'm so proud of you. And where can we find your book? Where's the best place to go?
Right now it's on Amazon. And you can just basically type in, retail stories from the dressing rooms, and it'll pop up. And it's actually, it's in the business section of it because it is part of the retail, department. It's also in humor, so you can find it there.
Okay.
Um, and it's on Kindle and it's in paperback. And I'm hoping, like I said, to pretty soon get it into boutiques. Um, and things like that, little boutiques and throughout, San Diego and hopefully all the way up the coast. I have also some, influencers on Instagram that are going to start hopefully, promoting it. And I don't know. I'm, just hoping and praying for the best, trying to get it out there. And actually, writing another book. It's going to be a longer, but that's going to probably take a while to do because I'm into all this other stuff too.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we'll have to have you back when you're done with that and
Yeah.
it's published. And I will put everything in the show notes here
Okay.
so everybody can find your book.
I appreciate
I
that.
can see it there's boutiques in LA that I've been to where I can absolutely see it.
Right. And Malibu, since I
Oh,
lived in
totally in Malibu.
Malibu for 8 years, although Malibu has changed a lot, and the
It
boutiques I
really
used to know
has.
aren't even there anymore. So unfortunately, maybe Urban Outfitters. That's a good one.
That
But
would be a great
that's
place.
super commercial though. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's totally an urban item. I was actually just
Hmm.
in Urban Outfitters the other day, and it would it would absolutely be perfect there. Let's
Yeah,
get it into urban.
I know. If anybody knows anybody there.
So, where can we find you on social media? Plug your socials.
Okay, well, Instagram it's Jen, Jenn Busa, Busa, and then Facebook it's just Jennifer Busalacchi. That's it for right now. Yeah,
That's where she is.
that's where I
You
am.
guys go get her book, Retails Stories from the Dressing Rooms. Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on the Ageless podcast. This was so much fun.
Thank you, Jana. I appreciate it. Love you so much.
Love you.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Ageless. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. Tune in next week for a new episode.